All right, sixth grade, welcome to step 4 and the final step to lesson 2, your Tints and Shades Fall Zentangle. So in step 3, you completed, mine is still wet, but you completed the tints and shades around your fall object, whether you chose the acorn, the leaf, or the pumpkin. You were to trace it lightly and then start at that line on top of it with your lightest tint. You needed at least 3. Some of you may have gotten 4. I think I got 4 tints. And then you wash your brush, paint your color unmixed, and then you should get 2 to 3 shades. And you're filling your whole paper with the tints and shades. The only white area is the center, which is where we're gonna complete the last step. So this you're setting aside to dry. And now we are taking out that object that you cut out earlier and you traced. Make sure you didn't throw this away because you're going to need it. And at this time is when you are going to, either with pencil or Sharpie, depending on how confident you are filling in each section with a different Zentangle pattern. So be sure to check out the Google slide. I'll post some Zentangle ideas for you to reference, or you can come up with your own. Inside the pumpkin, it's each one of these different sections is a different pattern, or the leaf I've divided into sections for you, so each one of those different sections is a different pattern. So you're coming up with creative patterns using line and shape, and we really want to think about a balance of black and white. We want to think about a balance of filled in solid areas versus just line work. So we don't want just every single one of them to be line and we have no solid areas. So definitely think about patterns that incorporate some solid filled in areas like checkerboard, or you can see in this sort of rainbow pattern, I filled in the center section solid black. So we want a nice balance. Remember, in composition, to create a successful composition, we always think about balance, and we want a nice balance of line versus solid filled in black areas. So make sure you're thinking about that. That is part of your grade, is your composition as you work. So again, depending on how confident you are, you can design your Zentangle patterns first with pencil and then outline and fill in with Sharpie, or if you're feeling confident and you want to just dive right in and do your Zentangle patterns with Sharpie, that is fine too. Just remember, if you are using Sharpie, this is copy paper, it's really thin, so you'll probably want a placemat so that you don't bleed your Sharpie onto your table or whatever surface it is you're working on. All right, enjoy this Zentangle pattern process, and follow along as you learn how to fill in the sections, and then the last step is gluing it down to the center of your tints and shades painted background. All right, here we go. Before you begin, be sure to check out the Google slide for lesson 2 on different Zentangle pattern ideas. Obviously, you're more than welcome to come up with your own as well. If you're feeling confident, like I am, I'm just going to dive right in with Sharpie. But if you would like to do your Zentangle patterns in pencil first, that's just fine. You'll just have to go over your pencil lines and pencil patterns with Sharpie when you're finished and fill in. We don't want to see any pencil work when we're done. All right, I'm filling in my large section with like a wavy checkerboard, but I'm going to do a little interesting twist to my checkerboard, so just follow along. Remember, we want to have a nice balance of solid black and line work. So you see here I'm starting to fill in the checkerboard with my black Sharpie, but we want to make sure that those sections are filled in really solid and clean. So if your Sharpie's dying out on you, or if your black marker, that will work fine too. Just make sure that you're filling it in nice and clean and solid. Just so you know, you are not doing my exact patterns. Obviously, you can use the pattern ideas that I show here, but I am encouraging you to come up with your own as well. I am just showing you this demo as an example as to how to approach the Zentangle portion of this project. If you have a skinny Sharpie, it can be interesting to incorporate both regular Sharpie and a really fine skinny Sharpie to get some different line widths. But if you just have black marker or regular black Sharpie, those will work just fine. Once you've completed filling in each section with a different Zentangle pattern, then you're going to take a glue stick or liquid glue, and you are going to glue it down to the center of your Tints and Shades background that you painted with tempera paint. Make sure that it aligns with your pencil outline and that it sticks down nice and clean. Once you have done that, then you're going to take a picture of your completed work and submit it to Lesson 2 assignment for a grade. I hope you enjoyed this lesson and learning about how to create tints and shades and different types of patterns.